Hey everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video, we are going to learn how to create Zendesk user on Google Forms submission. So let's suppose I'm running an e-commerce store and I'm collecting all my customer feedback with the help of Google Forms. Now I want whenever my customer fills the form, a user is automatically created in Zendesk account. So to do this automation, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which requires no coding or programming skills. Here I just need to build connection between Google Forms and Zendesk. Pabbly Connect runs on two principles, which is trigger and action. Here as my trigger application, I am going to take Google Forms from where I will receive new form submission, and then in my action application, I am going to take Zendesk where the user will be created automatically. If you want to learn this amazing automation step by step, then let me take you all to my screen.
In this video, we are going to learn how to create Zendesk user on Google Forms submission. For this, we are going to create automation between Google Forms and Zendesk with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this is the landing page of Pabbly, and you can visit this simply by typing pabbly.com/connect in your browser. Now after browsing the website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly account. On the top right corner, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, click on this sign in. But if you are a new user, click on the sign up for free, and this will give you 100 tasks free on monthly basis. As I'm an existing user, I'll click on the sign in. And here a dashboard has appeared showing me all the Pabbly applications. Here I have to click on this Pabbly Connect Access Now. And it has taken me to this dashboard where I will be able to find all my workflows over here and all the folders that I have created over here. If you want to create a new folder, you just need to click on this plus icon, and from here you can create a new folder. For now, I want to create a new workflow, for which I need to click on this create workflow, and first I need to give the workflow name and then select the folder in which I want to save this workflow. So first let's name this workflow as how to create Zendesk user on Google Forms submission. Now I need to select my folder. So these are the folders that have been created, and I want to select this forms automation and then click on create. Now as soon as I click on create, two boxes have appeared in front of me. One is trigger, other is action. So trigger says when this happens, action says do this. So trigger is basically an event which starts the automation of a workflow. There can be only one trigger in a workflow, but as many as action applications as you want. Here in this workflow, I want to create Zendesk user on Google Forms submission, which means whenever a Google Forms submission will be made, a Zendesk user will be created automatically. Which means whenever a Google Form submission will be made, this complete workflow here will get triggered, because trigger says when this happens. So whenever a Google Form submission happens, an action says do this. So create a user in my Zendesk account. So here in my trigger application, I'm going to take Google Forms. And then in my trigger event, I'm going to take this new response received. Now I have to create connection between Google Forms and Pabbly Connect, for which a webhook URL is provided to me, and this URL is going to act as a bridge to connect my Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. So reading this help test given below over here, I will make this connection, and to make this connection, let me take you to my Google Forms. So this is my Google Forms, and this is the form that I have created by the name customer feedback form, and here it has all these fields: first name, last name, email, phone, feedback type, feedback detail, and rate your experience. Now I have to build the connection, and for that I have to make sure that I turn on this required button on of the last field. So this is my last field, rate your experience, and I've turned on this required button over here, and then I have to go to these responses where I can see this view in sheets. So I will click on this view in sheets. So here this sheet has opened in front of me, and the name of the sheet is customer feedback form, same as that of the Google Forms, and it has all these fields that I have in my Google Form: first name, last name, email, phone, feedback type, feedback detail, and rate your experience. Over here, this is an extra field which is timestamp, and it will record the date and timing of the form submission. So now this means that Google Forms and this Google Sheets are connected, and whenever I will receive the form submission, all the details will be added in my Google Sheet. So now to make this connection, I have to click on this extensions, and then I have to click on this add-ons, and then I have to click on this get add-ons. So over here, Google Workspace Marketplace has appeared in front of me, where I need to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. And it is showing installed because I have already installed this in my Google Sheets. But if you are doing this for the first time, you have to make sure that you follow the same process and then refresh your Google Sheets. Now I have to click on this extensions, and then after installing this Pabbly Connect webhooks, I have to click on this initial setup. So this box has appeared in front of me, which is asking me to enter the webhook URL and the trigger column. So this is the same webhook URL which I am provided in my Pabbly Connect workflow. So I'll go back to Pabbly Connect, and from over here copy this webhook URL and paste that webhook URL over here. Now I have to enter the trigger column. So it says the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL. So over here in this sheet, my final data entry column is column H, and whenever I will add data in this column, the complete row data will be sent to Pabbly Connect. So over here in this trigger column, I am going to write column H, and then I have to click on this submit. So setup configured successfully, and now I have to do one more important step. I have to go back to extensions, go to Pabbly Connect webhooks, and then I have to click on this send on event. So this step will make sure whatever data we add in future, it is sent to Pabbly Connect. Now let's go back to Pabbly Connect, and over here we can see waiting for the webhook response, and under this it is written, now log into the application where you have added the webhook URL and do test submission so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. This means so as to get the webhook response over here, I need to do a test submission, for which I am going to fill a form in my Google Forms, and I am going to fill some dummy details in all these fields. For that I have to click on this send, and over here I can see this link to the form. So I am going to copy this link and paste that in a new tab. So this form has appeared in front of me, where I am going to enter all these details. So let's say my first name is, so here I have entered my details. My first name is new, last name is user, email address is new8238@pabblytudes.com. My phone number is this, feedback type is positive, and the feedback details I have entered is, I had a great experience with your service. The staff was very helpful and my issue was resolved quickly. I especially appreciated the follow-up calls to ensure everything was satisfactory. And in my rate your experience, I have rated this as 5, and now I'm going to click on this submit. So as soon as I've submitted this form, this response should be received in my Pabbly Connect, and this detail should be added in my Google Sheets. So let's open my Google Sheets first, and here I can see I have recorded the details. The first name was new, last name was user, email address was new8238@pabblytudes.com. My phone number was this, feedback type is positive, feedback detail, I had a great experience with your service. This is the same feedback details. Then the rate your experience, this was 5. Now I need to open my Pabbly Connect, and over here I can see I have instantly received the response, and these are the same details that I have added while filling my form. The first name was new, last name was user, my email address was new8238@pabblytudes.com. This was my feedback, and this was the rating. So Pabbly Connect has captured all the response. So this means Pabbly Connect is connected with my Google Forms. The connection that we have created with the help of this webhook URL is successful. And now whenever someone will fill the form, all the details will be added in my Pabbly Connect. So now moving on to the next step, I have to add action application. So whenever I receive new form submission from my Google Forms, I want to create user in my Zendesk account. So here in my action application, I am going to take this Zendesk, and then in my action event, I am going to take create user. Now I have to click on this connect, and if you have an existing connection, you can simply click on this save. If you don't have one, you have to create a connection, and for that you have to click on this add new connection, where you have to enter the Zendesk username, API token, and the subdomain. So here I have added my Zendesk username, and I have to write /token. So this will complete my username, and then I have to enter the API token and then the subdomain. So to enter this API token, let me take you to my Zendesk account. So this is my Zendesk account and this is the profile. Over here I need to click on this manage in admin center, and then on the left hand side I can see this apps and integrations. So I will open this, and if I scroll down I can see this Zendesk API. So I will open this, and over here I can see this add API token. So I will open this, and then I am provided with the API token, which I simply have to copy and paste that token over here in my Pabbly Connect. Now I need to provide the subdomain. So to enter this, let's open my account again, and over here in my path URL I can see this URL. So I will copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste that over here, and it's written enter the Zendesk subdomain here, example this from your Zendesk URL. So this is the URL, and I have to remove this and also the HTTPS, and this is my subdomain. So now I have to click on this save. So here Zendesk is finally connected with my Pabbly Connect, and over here to create the user I have to enter all these details. So now the first one is name, and it is a required field. So to enter this I'm going to use a method called mapping, which means I'm going to enter data from my previous response. Here as you can see I have received the response from my Google Forms, and as soon as I click on this name field I can see this Google Forms, and when I click on this I can see all the responses that I have received from there. So I have to enter my name, which is new user. So I will enter that and then put space between these two, which is first name and last name. And then I have to enter the email address. So to enter this I am going to follow the same process and enter my email address as new8238@pabblytudes.com. Then in my details field I want to add this feedback. I had great experience with your service. So this is my details, and in the notes I want to add the experience. So this was the experience, and then I have to enter the phone number. So this was my phone number, and in the role, so as this is a required field, I want to enter this end user, and then in the organization I simply want to select this as education, and then external ID, this is not a required field, so I am going to skip this, and in this verified field I want to select this as yes. So now over here mapping is important, so that every time you receive a new response it is taken into consideration in these fields. Manually entering the data will make these fields static, and the information will not change even if you have received the new response. Over here if I manually enter any data, this field will become static, and every time I receive a new response the result will not change. So as to keep these fields dynamic, we use this process mapping instead of manually entering the details. So now after entering all these details I have to simply click on this save and send test request and wait for the response. So here I can see I have received the response with the ID of the user. Now I need to open my Zendesk account and check whether this user has been created there or not. So here this is my account, and on the left hand side I can see this contact. So I will open this section and let's refresh this page once. And here you can see I have created this user, new user. Let's open this. The email address was new8238@pabblytudes.com. Phone number was this. Organization was education. And the details here was I had great experience with your service. And in the notes section, we have added the rate your experience. Now to check whether this automation is working perfectly fine or not, let's open my Google Forms and fill some other form with some other details. So over here now I'm going to provide the first name as latest, and then my last name as user, and then my email address is latest923@pabblytudes.com, and then my phone number as, and then my feedback type as suggestion, and then in the feedback detail I am going to add it would be great to have more payment options available. Currently I find the choices a bit limited, and then rate your experience as 4. Now I'm going to submit this, and as soon as I've submitted this form a user should be created in my Zendesk account. So let's open my Zendesk account and let's refresh this page once. And here I can see I have created this latest user. Also the email address is latest923@pabblytudes.com. The phone number is this. The details I have added here is it would be great to have more payment options available, and then I have added the rate your experience in this notes. So we have successfully created this user as soon as we have filled the Google form and submitted a Google form. Now to summarize, we took Google Forms as a trigger application where we made connection with Pabbly Connect with the help of this webhook URL. We submitted a form and received the response over here, after which we moved to the next step where we wanted to create user as soon as the form submission has been received. So in our action application, I took Zendesk where I made connection with Pabbly Connect and entered all these details with the help of mapping. Simply clicked on the save and send test request and received the response as this user been created in my Zendesk account. So we have successfully created automation between Google Forms and Zendesk with the help of Pabbly Connect. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.
Not only these applications, but you can integrate many more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now if you have any doubt, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any query, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com, and if you have any pricing related issue, you can visit the website given over here. Also, if you find our videos helpful, do share it with your friends and like and subscribe to our channel.